Hang on a minute. There we go. Apologies if you've been sat there waiting for me. Little bit of a gremlin in the machine. I've just had to go live, basically in my kitchen. So yeah, forgive me if it's a bit sort of, what's going on here, Jay? Where's the studio? Where you at? Yeah, we're in my kitchen because we've had a bit of news. Fabrizio Romano, here we go. On Tyrell Malacia, we were chatting about this earlier today. We was on the brew. Myself, you had RH, up the RH. And it was one of those where we're like, okay, is this going to happen? Is this going to drag on? Is it going to be a sort of one of those deals where you're waiting for it next week? And we've got the Frenkie de Jong one to be done as well. And you've got all this other stuff going on. But no, we've had an update from the man himself, Fabrizio Romano. Let me just bring up what Romano has said. Let me just find that for you. If you bear with me a little minute. He's tweeted, forgive me, because I was on the tram when he did this. Just got no consideration for me when I'm trying to give you updates. Tyrell Malacia to Manchester United. Here we go. Agreement reached on personal terms. Waiting to sign contract soon for 15 million euros plus 2 million add-ons to Feyenoord. Malacia will be first signing of Ten Hag era. He also goes on to say, Leon deal hijacked as revealed on Tuesday, now confirmed. So, yeah, we've been speaking about this quite a lot on the channel about the fact that this seems to be like a new thing for Manchester United, doesn't it? Hijacking deals, going in there, we're waiting for someone to make a move and then going, yes, we'll have a bit of that. We're doing it with Leon. There's talk of us doing it with Arsenal and Lisandro Martinez as well. Be interesting to see whether that helps. Thread to turn your bloody lights off. Sorry, my light's driving you mad. I can't get up. Someone else saying got it just in time. Hit that like button. There was a Rustler's Burger. Jace is pointing out the obvious. 1 down, 3 to go. Yeah, we know that Frenkie de Jong is on the horizon. That could be any day now. We also know that there's interest in Lisandro Martinez. There could be something happening there soon. Christian Eriksen, there's interest in him as well. He's got a decision to make whether it's going to be Brentford or whether it's going to be Manchester United. But Tyrell Malacia, who was one who came out of, I wouldn't say nowhere, but it was a bit of a surprise, wasn't it? Hit that like button as well if you're watching. Hit the like button, folks, as Lebo says. Yeah, it came out of nowhere because, not nowhere, but it looked like it wasn't going to happen. Leon were in for him. It looked like they were going to get a deal done. Went a bit cold on the Manchester United front. And then all of a sudden it was like, hang on a minute. United have waited for Leon to make a move. And then we've gone for it. And it's worked. There you've got the here we go from Romano saying that basically it's a here we go. And also he's done another update where he says United are working to schedule Tyrell Malacia medicals. Erik Ten Hag wanted to get the deal done and paperworks are already signed with Feyenoord for 15 million euros plus 2 million in add-ons, waiting for contracts to be signed on player side. Then it will be official. There was this update, wasn't there, this today from David Ornstein. I don't know if you watched the news this morning on the paper talk. It looked like there might be a little bit of a fly in the ointment because David Ornstein, who's also done an update on this, which I'll get into in a minute. He tweeted this morning, basically, about the Malacia deal. It had been complicated by a representation issue. He said Malacia was using Ali Dursun, but not authorised on this. A 22-year-old doing it with his father. Deal currently on track, but matter needs sorting, plus personal terms have to be agreed. So that was what David Ornstein, who's up there with Romano now in terms of reliability, was saying. He's also tweeted about 47 minutes ago, if I'm going to be precise, Man United agree terms with Tyrell Malacia, a 4-year contract plus option of a 5th. Medical may happen this weekend. United now trying to reach agreement with Ajax for Arsenal target, in brackets, Lisandro Martinez, and he is keen. De Jong and Eriksen pursuits continue. So you've got Malacia's done, basically. Terms agreed. 4-year deal with the option of a 5th. Now trying to reach an agreement with Lisandro Martinez, and he's keen. De Jong and Eriksen pursuits continue. De Jong looks pretty much done, doesn't it? To be honest with you, I'd be very surprised if that didn't happen. And Eriksen pursuit, I think we're just waiting out where he's got a decision to make. Is he going to go with Brentford, who are in, not in for him, they want to extend the contract with him, don't they? He was obviously there last season. Or is he going to come to Old Trafford? Sorry, I've not got into any of the chats at the minute. I'll get into that. Parker says, I like a good hijacking. Jason McMillan says, Ornstein also mentioned United are now in for Martinez. Again, it seems like a similar thing, done it with Martinez, that's happening with Malacia. Arsenal went in for Maynez. We've waited to see what they've done, and then we're going to go in with a better offer. Leon went in for Malacia. We saw what they're doing, and we went in with a better offer. Kurt says, Jay Guardian are reporting Chelsea are going to swoop for Frankie de Jong. I hope that isn't the case. I'll have a quick look at that, actually. That would be massively annoying if Chelsea started to get involved in the Frankie de Jong thing, because at one point, about 5 minutes ago, I thought that was almost a done deal. Yeah, just looking at this at the Guardian, it says Frankie de Jong on Chelsea's list as they monitor a move by Manchester United. Chelsea could target Barcelona midfielder if deal falls apart. It says here that they're monitoring it, but you've got to remember, United have agreed a fee of 56.2 million plus add-ons for de Jong, and negotiations are now centred around the player's personal terms. It would be quite ironic, though, wouldn't it, if Chelsea did to us what we're trying to do to Arsenal and Leon? But I don't want ironic. I just want us to get deals done. Thomas Dickinson says, "Nice kitchen, mate, like the skylight." Thank you. Amy Evans says, "Jay, think Eriksen is done." Rich Dennis says, "Martinez can play DM, right? He can, can't he? I know he's mainly played as centre-back, but he can play as defensive midfielder." Some people point out as well the fact that he's quite small in Martinez. He's like 5'10", I want to say. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that one. I think he's either 5'10" or 11. So he's not that tall. Talk MU, great to see you. Says, "I can see the de Jong deal collapsing now." Miss Man United says, "Nice kitchen." Yeah, she'd know very well. It's her kitchen as well. Jason McMillan says, "Jay, Chelsea got gazumped by Barca for Rafinha." Yeah, what's going on with Rafinha? Well, I've just had an update there from Jason McMillan. Says that they got gazumped for him because Rafinha at one point looked like he was going to go to Arsenal. Then he looked like he was going to go to Chelsea. Then he looked like he was going to go to Barca. I mean, what's happening with that one? He seems like he could be going everywhere. Anywhere he's going, he's going to be an improvement on Leeds United. Sorry, it's just true. BMW Racing 1974 says the Jong deal is pretty much done. I mean, yeah, it'd be a massive surprise. I don't want to jinx anything here. If the Jong deal did fall apart, you'd like to think that we can keep that one going. Don't talk over Bart. There's still a lot to do, Jay. Yeah, it's not there yet, but it is looking positive on the Jong one. The one thing we do know, though, is everyone's reporting David Ornstein. Well, I say everyone, the main men, David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano, are saying that Tyrell Malacia is done. Basically, United have agreed terms with Malacia, 4-year contract plus option of the 5th. Medical may happen this weekend. That was Ornstein. He also went on to say that we're in for Martinez, and he's keen, and with de Jong and Eriksen, pursuits continue. And Romano, the main man himself, he tweeted his pinned tweet, and we were talking about this the other day, that it was his pinned tweet. Sometimes you think, why has he pinned that? There was one about Dean Henderson that was pinned for about 4 days. You're like, I don't know why he's pinned that one. We can do a bit better. He had a pinned tweet from June the 28th. Exclusive. Manchester United are trying to hijack Tyrell Malacia deal after full verbal agreement with Leon. Man United jumped into it before it was signed. Talks with Feyenoord to reach an agreement. Dutch sources confirmed. Detail: Malacia has same agents as Frankie de Jong. It was that agent, I think, that threw a little bit of a spanner in the works this morning, according to reports from Ornstein, that agent wasn't able, for whatever reason, to broker the deal, whether he wasn't licensed properly or whatever, I don't know. But it looked like there might be a bit of a problem there. Not in terms of making the deal not happen, but in terms of how quickly it could be resolved. Ornstein said that it might be a case of Tyrell Malacia's dad stepping in. Whatever the reasons, whatever happened anyway, it got sorted, because an hour ago we had Tyrell Malacia to Manchester United. Here we go from the main man, Fabrizio Romano himself. Agreement reached on personal terms, waiting to sign contracts. 15 million plus 2 million add-ons. The good thing about that is that frees up a lot more, doesn't it? That, like, we haven't got a massive budget this summer. I know you can go, well, 150 million quid or whatever, 130 million quid is a lot of money, and it is, relatively speaking, but it's not like, for what the amount of players United want to bring in, and the fact that Frankie de Jong is going to cost us 50 odd million. It's not like I can go out and get five or six, players if we're paying sort of 40, 50 million pound from each of them, sorry. But if you're paying 15 million euros for a player, then that frees up other funds elsewhere. And if you think about it, I don't want to get carried away, but just indulge me slightly. If we were to get de Jong, if we were to get Tyrell Malacia, if we were, and these are all big ifs, if we were to get Martinez, who can play at centre-back or even as a DM, if we were to get Eriksen as well, that's a decent window. If, and again, this is a big if, you could throw in someone like Anthony, who is meant to be a target at Manchester United, is meant to be keen on a move to Manchester United. Obviously, someone that Erik ten Hag knows very well. He's just worked with him at Ajax. If you could get those players in a transfer window alongside a new manager, that's a decent transfer window. That is. Because I was a little bit concerned. Now I'm feeling a little bit more positive. YouTube says, we got Liverpool on July the 12th. That's only 11 days. Torquem says, the rum and raisin chocolate is coming out. Hussey says, Tielemans has 1 year left. Should try to get him. I was speaking about yesterday I think it was. The day is all molding to one. It's either yesterday or today we were talking about Tielemans and the fact that he is, he has 1 year left on his contract, and maybe Manchester United could get him because Leicester, you can buy players off Leicester. If they are going to get any money for him, they've got to sell him now. If they don't sell him now, they're not going to get anything for him. Maybe we could get Tielemans. But do you think De Jong and Tielemans would fit into this team? Do you think Eriksen, De Jong, Tielemans, and Martinez do? Do you think there's one or the other there? I'm not sure. Someone was bringing it up in one of the chats earlier. They were saying, if we get De Jong, I can't see us getting De Jong and Tielemans. I think we could get both. I just don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. Miss Man United says, so glad everyone else has a pop about your earphones. AirPods are the way forward. When will you realise that I'm always right? Yes, she is always right. And I'm not just saying that because she's letting me go to Australia and Thailand. She's always right anyway. But I like headphones with a wire. Don't Talk Over Bounce says, Tielemans and Frankie de Jong would be incredible. Saya Makahal, says, do you think Rashford will leave? No, I don't think he will. But he has to do well in the beginning of the season. I think he has to do well in that first when I say the beginning of the season, those first 6 months. It's amazing to me to be saying that after, the seasons that Marcus Rashford was having, back-to-back 20 goals a season, one of the most productive attackers in Europe. But last season, his form fell off a cliff. I think he needs to show himself again, especially with the manager who doesn't know him as well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did. Obviously, I expect Marcus Rashford to turn around. I love Marcus Rashford, but we'll have to wait and see. 911 Milana says, late to the stream. Jay, what position is he? He is a left back. What does this mean now for Alex Telles? You think Telles is on his way out? It looks like Brandon Williams could be. According to reports, Brandon Williams has been told he could leave. He may well fight for his place. He may well get another loan move. We know he's United through and through. He may decide, you know what, with Malacia coming in, with Luke Shaw already there, my options are going to be limited, so I'm going to move on. We'll have to wait and see. I feel like Telles almost played his way out of the team last season. I like Alex Telles, but I thought his form for the last sort of 2 or 3 months, he played quite a lot, didn't he? It wasn't great. It really wasn't. Nicholas Lampard says, I'd take Neves over Tielemans. Neves has always been quite a bit of a fan favourite with a lot of people spoke to at United. United fans I spoke to. A lot of people seem to quite like Ruben Neves. Maybe it's because he scores worldies against us. He always does quite well against us, doesn't he? Cameron Seger says, pop a like for the video, folks. Yeah, hit that like button, please. Over 1,200 people watching, only 200 likes. Come on. Friday night, in my kitchen, give us a like. Come on, we've got a transfer done. We've got our first, here we go, of the summer. You know what I mean? Tyrell Malacia, the one we were all wanted, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm sure you were all saying a few months ago, make sure we get Tyrell Malacia. Well, listen, good young player, comes from Feyenoord, gives a bit of competition for that left back spot with Luke Shaw. We saw what happened when we brought in Alex Telles. Luke Shaw's form went through the roof, didn't it? Maybe there's a scenario. Maybe there's a different scenario where actually Malacia starts. Don't know. What do you think? Great question here from Jason McMillan. Jay, what about Belotti and Dybala? We were speaking about this on the Brew today because both Andrea Belotti and Paulo Dybala are on free transfers. They're both available. Dybala, I think that ship has sailed. I think he's going to end up going to Inter Milan. I think if we were going to get him, we would have got him a few years ago. In terms of Belotti, very good player. Done well at Torino. I know they've never really set the world alight, but he's always done well. I think last season was the first season in about 7 years he didn't hit double figures in terms of goals. I think he scored about 8 goals. Usually gets around 12, 13, 14 goals in a season in a Torino team that's not, challenging for the title. So he is a good player. He's 28 years old, can play just off the striker or as a striker. I think he's on 52 grand a week as well. I think he'd be a good player, a good signing, mate. On a free, someone to rotate with Cristiano Ronaldo. Let's not forget, we've got Ronaldo. You've got question marks over Anthony Martial. Maybe he stays. Maybe he does bits. I don't know. Marcus Rashford doesn't play down the middle, really, does he? He prefers to play on the left. Anthony Elanga's very young. I still think he's a season away. Plus, he's again not someone who plays down the middle. Mason Greenwood, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him kick a ball for Manchester United again. So I don't know. Am I getting this one wrong? Let us know what you think. Do you think that maybe someone like Belotti could be someone to come in? Jamie Anderson says, how do United get to the next level? Hang on a minute. I've just seen this by Sean. Jay, that is a Tory kitchen if I ever saw one. How very dare you, Sean? You know my thoughts on politics. How dare you say I've got a Tory kitchen? I am a fully fledged left-wing person. I'm not even a champagne socialist, right? I don't even drink champagne. We're on the front line here. Don't you worry about that. That's not a Tory kitchen. It's just a well-kept one, thanks to my lady friend. I'll give you that one. I like that. Jonathan Story says, who do you think will be a standout player under Eric Ten Hag? Do you know who I said the other day on? I did all for United, I think. And I don't know if it's a standout player. I thought a player who may show us something differently or improve a little bit. A player that's guaranteed to start, I think, is David De Gea. Eric Ten Hag obviously fancies him. You know, he looks like Dean Henderson's on his way out. So there's got to be a reason for that. Could we see a little bit of a different type of goalkeeper from David De Gea? I thought he was too long in the tooth for that to change his game. You know, we're talking about he's going to command his box a bit better and all that jazz. But I don't know. I think as well, I said this on Twitter the other day. I tweet so often, I forget. I said Bruno Fernandes, he could shine under Eric Ten Hag. Bruno Fernandes, I think, had the second most chances created in the league last season behind Trent Alexander-Arnold. I mean, that's in a team, a United team that was struggling. Really was, especially towards the end of the season. Bruno Fernandes, he can be erratic. I get that. I love him, but he's erratic. But I think that if he's got a manager who can get the best out of him, he can find a little bit of consistency. If he's got good players alongside him as well, then I think might see Bruno Fernandes hit some reach heights. Because let's not forget, this is the guy that came in when it looked like we were dead and buried for top four. 6 points off top four. He came in and he just carried us, didn't he, for that sort of 21-game unbeaten run that we went on under Ole, where we ended up finishing third. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I just wanted to do a quick update. Thanks for everyone who got involved in the chat and all the comments. I do appreciate your support on the channel. I'm going to be back with the news in the morning. Latest update is, Happy's just said, congratulations for the 8 years, mate. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Happy. Yeah, 8 years clean and sober today. Appreciate that. Listen, I'll be back in the morning with the news as well. So I'll have the news update live in the studio at 10:30 tomorrow morning. So make sure you are liking, sharing, and subscribing to Stretford Paddock. I'm J. Marty. This has been a quick update on breaking news. We've got Malacia. So here we go from the man himself, Fabrizio Romano. Hopefully, the first of many this